Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call. Believe it or not, for October 1st. It's like September went by as if it was a week. 2024, a little 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a high charge call for TFCC this Wednesday night. We're going to talk about authenticity of the paper that's been distributed out there amongst the RV community. Amongst other things, people need to have an education and a knowledge base. What you can imagine, when you look at our planet here, we call it our planet because we happen to have been living here for a while. Not really our planet, but where we live. And we all know that we've been, how it starts, right? We enter this physical human body and we begin to get programmed. And since we have amnesia, we have no reference of anything. And so we go through the ropes, right? We're programmed, we're told, we listen, we pick up things, we learn. We also develop by the time you're about 7 years old, you've got your character and your personality. And it's yours exclusively. There's no one else that has that same character and personality on the planet. So as we go through these bodies, and we're in these bodies, and we're experiencing material physical life, we pick up things, we experience things, and we grow for the most part, all the way till we leave the body. And because of that, we're taught certain things that are embedded, that we embrace and we carry with us, that it is our belief mechanism that we use through this life. And it's not about right or wrong, it's just that what we adopt as our philosophies and our outlooks and our perceptions. But it's all wrong. It's false. And this is why we have so much dissension, at each other, and not unity and not unification, and the lack of spiritual exploration within ourselves. It's a big ball of wax that needs to be melted down. And our imagination is key, because whatever you can think, you can create. Period. It's a proven fact throughout existence. Whatever you think, whatever you imagine, you can create. Now, of course, when we have all of this information that has been, pumped into us through the years, we all have imagination. It's just to what extent how far do we go with our imaginations? And some of us will stop ourselves because the ego mind and say, oh no, forget it. That's not possible. That won't happen. Not in a million years. If you look through our brief past as a species, and you pick up things where people at one time on this planet said that, no, flying is impossible. Can't fly. Right? You got to be a bird in order to fly. And then we had not only the Wright brothers, but other people that invented contraptions that allowed us to fly. If you went back, let's just for giggles, let's say you went back 100 years, right? And you started talking to people and telling them what it was going to be like 100 years, into the future. what do you think they would say? Well, because their imaginations are so short, they would think that you were, for the most part, off your rocker. You're a crazy person. And it's all about perspective on what we can imagine. And when you imagine things that you believe in, nobody else, when you imagine things that you believe in your heart mind, you will create it. Somehow, some way, some shape, some form. How do you think all of these, what most of the technologies that were kept from the people of this planet for thousands of years, and all the inventors on this planet in this very now moment working on things, but never really bubbled up to the people of the planet. So this is how people begin to believe that it's just your imagination. That's all. You're just imagining that. When in reality, when we excite our imagination and we direct it to a certain area, it's developing. It's beginning to assemble, so to speak. But for the most part, our ego mind has such a grip on us that it will tell us that, oh, no, that's not possible. You're not going to be able to do that. Okay? Who would have thought that we would have had what we have today? Even though it's as slow as molasses on a technological progression on this planet, you know, people wouldn't believe it. You know, remember when we started out with, you remember no such thing as a wireless communication device. And all we had was hard wire lines that, you know, when you wanted to talk with people, you picked up the phone, it was on the kitchen wall or it was on a desktop or, you know, coffee table, and you'd pick it up and you'd dial. Even before we had the touch buttons. And you just, you know, and it'd dial, and then you'd talk with whoever, Aunt Jane or whoever. And that's how we communicated. Now, then some of us started thinking, well, why wouldn't it be possible if we could just have push buttons on that phone? Make it look nicer and lighter. Remember the princess phones with a lighted dial? First it had the dial, and then all of a sudden you had the lighted push button. And we thought that was really slick. And then we progressed. You probably remember the bricks. You'd have a landline, but it was wireless. I remember that, and it was AT&T came out with it, and it was a handheld with a steel antenna that you would pull up, and it ran at about a 900 megahertz, and you could talk to people, you know, out on your patio and stuff like that when you didn't have the cord anymore. You can see how our imaginations progress and what's created because of our imaginations. Right? Basically, if you take our vehicles today, they're pretty much the same. And they got a lot more stuff on them, computers and all that stuff, more advanced. But the core unit of the automobile is the same. You know, combustible engine, ignites fuel in the chambers, hence it propels itself with a drivetrain and so on and so on. Well, I mean, we had vehicles back in the 1920s that basically a covered carriage that weren't that great. You remember the Model Ts and the Model As. But now you look at the progression, but it's the same nucleus, it's the same core with a lot of stuff added to it. Right? And if you say to somebody, you know that one day, and just regular conversation, you know, one day we're going to have transportation devices that will allow us to go anywhere on the planet within 15 minutes. People, I believe, are more receptive now than they were, obviously, than they were 100 years ago. But this is all connected to our imaginations. Whatever you can think, you can create. That, it's been proven throughout the ages. You don't doubt it. See, that's another part of it. You don't ever doubt yourself. You're 100% and trust, faith, and confidence in yourself. Not through ego mind, but through heart mind. You just know. There's no explanation for it. You just know. And you believe that whatever it is that you have imagined for yourself in your life can be created. There's not. The only thing that intercepts us, or you hear the term, I keep getting in my own way. That's the ego mind. But when you have these confidence factors that you have embraced, excuse me, that's a no-brainer. Then what happens is that things start coming together. The universe is at your aid, and these things start manifesting. But it's the doubt, see, that we come into. It could just be a freckle of a doubt, and it negates everything. Period. If you're doubtful about anything in your life, then it negates your true vision or imagination on what you want to create for your life. Now, how many of us know that? That's a good one. I really don't know how many on this planet deeply comprehend that, because we're all corralled, in a way, to live in this material physical world. And the ego mind loves it because it's always wanting, wanting, and wanting. And then it's highly insecure. What would happen in the event you didn't, that you had mastered the ego mind through your heart mind? What do you think would happen? Well, you would have no fear ever again. You would not ever doubt yourself ever again. You would have complete faith and confidence in yourself eternally. You would not be confrontational. You wouldn't care what other people thought, said about you. You would just roll. You would float and enjoy your life. But you would enjoy it from within, and you will discover that you are pure consciousness. Or like I say on this planet, God. Whatever you want to name it, it's pure consciousness. This is what we are. In these bodies, people always ask, what do we really look like? Now, because we're visual, we've been in these bodies for a very long time, through many lifetimes, so we're visual. What do we look like? Well, a ball light is the best way to put it. And the light, and you've heard me share this before, is that when you look at our sun on a sunny day, right, you're not going to, you'll burn your retina if you just stare at it. But you can glance at it, and if you have some sun shields on, you can look at it. And it's very bright. Now, if you took who and what you really are, that which never changes, supremely omnipotent, powerful, immortal being, never dies. You could put 1,000 of those suns in the background, right? Your ball of light is out from that, and your ball of light, those suns would be dim looking in comparison to your ball of light. That's what we are. We are omnipotently powerful supreme beings that never die. Period. And we can take on any form we choose. Really, seriously. Oh no, the souls and pets and everything are much lower. No, they're not. That's another bicameral statement. We take on form to do what, okay? We are omnipotently powerful supreme beings that never die, And our whole direction is to create and experience. So doesn't it make sense that many of us have been what? Trees, different kinds of animals. And I've talked to people that know this, and they remember, they do have some memory of being a bear or a wolf or a snake or something. They remember it. And why do we do that? We don't just do it, and we don't just incarnate in these bodies, these human bodies. We incarnate in many different, because we're curious, right? Wonder what it would be like to be a horse, so you incarnate into a horse. Or a cow, or anything. This is why, okay. Can you imagine that there's hunters, right? And the hunters are out, around October, end October area, and maybe beginning November, where they're out hunting. Now imagine what would happen if, so you got a bead on a deer, and you fire, but as that happens, you enter the deer before it's hit. And you feel the pain that deer experiences when it's hit by a bullet or a bow. I mean, you feel it. The pain, the fear, the anguish of that. What do you think would happen? Well, you would not shoot a deer ever again. And, if let's put it this way, if we needed to sustain ourselves, right, and we had to forage, and that's all we had at our disposal to forage, then obviously the spirit of that deer would give that body up to nourish us. That's how it really works. Everything is divine and spiritual with all of us. There's nothing else. It's divine and spiritual. Isn't it ironic that we become so intertwined with the material physical life that we very rarely pay attention to our spiritual existence? And this is imagination is always there. Whatever you think, you can create. Whatever you imagine, and you imagine it and you believe it, will be. It's the interference in between. It's the tuning dial on your radio or whatever. You get static and you get this and you get that, and then finally you get a real clear signal. And you hone into that signal. And we're all on this journey. We don't, you're not going to screw it up. You just can't. Even though your ego might say, oh boy, you really messed this up. And there is every possibility for every one of us on this journey that we will be stopped, feel blocked, and become deeply distracted by something more appealing along the way. You look over here and go, oh wow, look at that. I'm going to go over there. And none of us are exempt from that. And it is a great chance that you will be enticed with seeing something so seductive and exciting that you may forget that the golden palace ever existed at all. Think it was just some far-off fantasy. Call off your entire search to find it. Now, for many of us, the journey into the core of our being may seem impossible since we are already there in some way. Yet it is the discovery that always continues to reveal itself in a new, outrageous way. The finding of your deepest inner truth, your authentic self, and your real true nature is one that you'll cherish for lifetimes when you find your greatest potentiality. Every other goal in life seems pale in comparison. This adventure into the core of you, where you'll reveal your soul's unlimited energy, is the same place you'll discover the divine power to reap the harvest of your life's greatest dreams. And A Course in Miracles, a really good excerpt from there. All of us, every one of us, everything you see is the result of your thoughts. There is no exception to this fact. It doesn't matter what you see, but it is the result of your thoughts. The more we comprehend this and embrace it, the more we become the masters and the less we become the slaves. You can set the intention right now to dive deeper into your innermost core this week, and that each day you'll be going deeper than you've ever gone before. You will need to know and trust that you can truly relax, be quiet enough to find it. It is the energy of trust that is essential for your highest experience of existence. Totally trusting the process of relaxation and letting go of resistance to it is absolutely necessary. It is that free soul who has unlimited perceptions about reality and no limits on what is actually possible and impossible. This type of mind has to trust existence to survive. And to access the most magical foundation within your being, you'll simply need to do the easiest thing in the world, which is what? Relax and become very, very, very still. You'll need to let go of all your efforting. That's a tough one for a lot of people. And just do nothing. You may think you need to hold your mind still in such a way that it no longer is moving at all. Yet this may only make the mind more jumpy. When you simply practice letting go, letting everything in this universe be exactly the way it is, you'll feel a subtle calm sensation in your heart. And something will tell you that everything is perfectly okay. And eventually, the mind will relax and find peace, which will allow you to rest and fall into the innermost core of your being. The most amazing things manifest in this life the very moment you get your mind out of the way and open yourself up to being fully in this eternal moment of now. For some of us, a universal understanding of life instantly begins flooding the mind. Your body may feel tight and tense right now. Yet when you relax into the innermost center of your being, you'll find that all tension instantly melts away. The key is to learn how to relax deeper into the now and trust that your soul's true infinite existence will guide you and show you the way to let go and find a greater trust in life. You'll get to the point where you're letting go every day, all day long. Say, it's not like once in a while. You're letting go and surrendering all the time. You know why? Because your ego mind, it doesn't care to surrender or let go. It wants you to hang on to everything. Now this center of your being is where all your real power is found. It is your real magic wand that can create anything you desire. Anything. It is the place where this entire universe you are creating in each moment is designed. When you go to where the source of where your thoughts are radiating from, you become the source of life itself. And the day you are in touch with the core of what you are, you will be able to grow new roots for stability in your life and branch out into the skies of your true unlimited potentiality. From the Bhagavad Gita, know that the self is the rider and the body the chariot. The intellect is the charioteer and the mind the reins. The senses, say the wise, are the horses. The roads they travel are the mazes of desire. The wise call the self the enjoyer when it is united with the body, the senses, and the mind. All of us have this magical core. It's buried deep, and it's hidden beneath layers of beliefs, memories, and ideas about who you are. It is not necessary at the core of your physical body. It's not there. Yet it is all the core, at the core of your being. What is that? The God at which you are, of which you are. That ball of light within that ball of light. To find this place, your body must be totally relaxed and at ease. That's why in these meditations, you get in a comfortable position. You don't have any outside interruption. Doesn't matter if you have to wear an eye mask and earplugs. You relax into your body. You're as still as a statue. And you focus on your breath rising and falling. That's the only way any of us naturally, organically, are going to relax our bodies. There's no other way. Oh, sure, you can take all kinds of paraphernalia, but that disrupts the whole flow and the pattern of who and what we are. When the mind simply lets go of all its planning, scheming, and efforting, our body naturally becomes completely at ease, and our core presents itself to us. It's good to know that your mind is your ticket to prison or freedom. By understanding that you do not know everything there is to know just yet, you open your mind to an entirely new world of possibility. One of them is that you are living in a super powerful, manifesting vehicle in a multidimensional, infinite universe which has unlimited potentiality and energy to create anything. Anything. Allow this idea to open your mind right now. Drop all limited perceptions you used to have about what is possible and what is not. This is the greatest opportunity of a lifetime, to be open to that anything is possible. Anything. Allow this moment to sink down into your body. Follow it into your deepest, innermost essence, where you can relax and connect with the most fertile soil, your soul. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, focused on your breath rising and falling. Reject anyone who doesn't honor your divine nature. If you happen to meet anyone on your journey through this life who says that you are not holy, sacred, and deeply divine, turn around and walk away. You are truly magnificent, and it is your purpose to know this truth deeply, intimately, and in your heart of hearts, no matter what anyone believes or says. Your heart and soul are always more intelligent and divine than anything that anybody can describe. It's good to know that the more often you can relax into your heart, the more wonderful your life will become. And remember, you are as innocent as a baby. There is no need to push, judge, or criticize yourself anymore. At the core of you, at the core of you are so pure, so sweet, and oh so perfect. Give yourself a sweet inner hug right now and forgive yourself for whatever you did wrong yesterday. Reclaim your innocence. You can simply choose to see your divinity, your divinely pure, innocent nature. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here Wednesday, October 2, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call, and a little after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our Time for Change call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be on the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on out there or in here. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.